With the entire island firmly under enemy control, Command wants us to disrupt their comms and logistics network. One team, Viper Green, is already in position and is poised to sabotage the radar array. We need you, call sign Viper Black, to strike a blow against the enemy's vehicle depot. An unorthodox opportunity has presented itself in the form of a weakly defended base and a heavily armed vehicle. We'll turn the enemy's firepower against them and exfiltrate amid the resulting confusion.
Arma, a game that becomes whatever you want it to be it post-apocalyptic zombie survival, or a 64-player milsim. Or you can spend hours scratching your head and cursing at the mission editor if that's your thing. But what interests me the most is the single-player mode, where we can take our time to explore the immense details given to us in the tools and environment, and maybe actually learn something, and feel less guilty about the hours I spend gaming every day. And for this reason I chose the Vehicle Showcase, mostly because I have never played these, and want to see if it can be made interesting. Our first objective is to capture a vehicle in this base that the briefing said is weakly defended. The base is on a hill, as can be seen by the concentric contour lines and the peak elevation markers. It is surrounded on the entire northern half by forests, with 2 ridgelines leading to it, which are dotted with numerous rocks. Since the vehicle appears to be near the northern edge of the base, my best bet will be to sneak through the forest and attack from the northeast. But first of all, I should do a recon if possible. That's the hill, with the base on top of it. But nothing is visible from here. We need a vantage point over it from some other hill nearby with around 200 meters of elevation, which requires us to understand
contour lines.
Contour lines are a way of representing ground elevation from sea level by drawing a line connecting the points with same elevations. It can be visualized as a plane slicing through the ground and drawing a line along the cut margin. As we draw more of these lines, notice that the more densely arranged these lines are, the steeper is the slope. There are 3 types of contour lines: index, intermediate, and supplementary lines. But in Arma we only see the first 2 types. Every 5th line has a heavier color and is called an index line, while the lines falling between the index lines are called intermediate lines. The difference in elevation between adjacent lines is called contour interval, and is represented in the lower right corner of the map. This value of contour interval changes as you zoom in or out of the map. Using different shapes of the contour lines, we can determine the various relief features of the ground, and thus plan accordingly. Out of these, the one we shall require now is the hill. The hill is a pattern of closed concentric contour lines, with the smallest concentric circle being the hilltop. Another similar pattern with closed concentric lines is the depression. Both may be confused with each other. In military maps, the depression can be differentiated from a hill by tick marks that point towards low ground. However, in Arma, if there is a number indicating the elevation inside the smallest concentric circle, it is a hill. And if there are no elevation markers, it is a depression. Also, this symbol is not the peak of a hill, but represents the presence of large rocks. So, now coming back to our original recon problem, we need a hill nearby that is taller than our target. These 2 hills, though close, are not tall enough. But if we look to the south, we have another hill that should just do the job. Now, it is quite a long distance away from our target and it might be difficult to see from here with just the naked eye. And as you can see, we don't have any good weapon optics and haven't been given even a pair of binoculars. One man going to take over a base alone and not even having a set of binoculars is a very unlikely scenario. It is very probable that even the Bohemia developers had some good binoculars when they went to Greece. Now, we will also have to note that our markings of the map indicate a squad of enemy infantry in this location. And so, in order to avoid detection, our movement to the recon position should be through here, breaking their line of sight using the terrain. Even though there is a gap between the rocks, we will not use it to go to the hill, because at this point, it seems that we might be exposed to the enemy line of sight without much cover. And so, after drawing our path on the map, we set off in the direction. How do you like this type of videos? I am right now learning, experimenting on how to make videos and throwing stuff at the wall to see what sticks. I'll continue this mission in this style if you guys like it, or I might start a new mission depending on your response. I also want to experiment different hidden features of Arma and its popular mods. Feel free to say anything you want on the comments section. See you again soon.